The Match Ball.
Hello there, welcome to the Match Ball. It's Dan, Michael and Chris as Leeds have defeated Wolves by 3-1. That's exciting, isn't it? I enjoyed that. Don't know about you.
Very much so.
Never in doubt.
Yep.
Definitely always imagining that was going to happen when they took an early lead. Probably.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Did we have fun?
Second half wasn't a great deal of fun, was it? But it needed to be done. A bit like legal services.
Right, like what?
Not much fun, but they need doing, don't they?
Well, I think they're vital to sensible functioning society.
Exactly. If you're doing wills and probate and conveyancing, my God, you need to know what you're doing.
Perhaps there are questions around care home fees, licensing,
Perhaps.
other things. 10% discount on your legal fees. levisolicitors.co.uk/the square ball. Thank you. We are streaming live on YouTube exclusively for our TSB Plus members who also get early access to the Match Ball podcast as well. And some bonus bits at the end in the audio feed. You can watch it later in the free feed and listen to it later in the free feed in your podcast app and on YouTube too. So that was all right, wasn't it? I think that is the sort of grinding Premier League performance that I can get on board with. I've been advocating for the grind all season. We grinded?
Yeah.
Both of those things. And came away with 3 points against what was obviously a very poor Wolves side, I thought. But I think the resilience to keep our heads even at 1-0, to turn that around, to show the resilience to not panic, I think is to Farke's credit, to the players' credit, considering it felt like this game, coming into it, did you feel like it was a must-win?
Not must-win. It was must-win for Wolves.
Yeah, a draw would have been acceptable, if not
online.
Yeah.
People would have continued having a meltdown.
Yeah.
I texted somebody earlier on and said, I think we don't necessarily need to win, but I don't feel like 1 point is enough. And I know there's no in between there, but do you know what I mean? Like, emotionally.
Yeah. We've said this already this year, but if you're chalking up where your points are coming from, you've got it down for at least one, haven't you?
Yeah.
Away at Wolves.
I think we only got one away win in 22-23 when we went down.
Wow.
Yeah.
And was that at Liverpool?
I was still going to say that was Anfield, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Jesse Marsh masterclass, which you did the video on.
On the flip side of this, Wolves would have been identifying this as an opportunity to kickstart their season after an absolutely terrible start. As it is, they've lost to one of the teams they would be looking to beat, so they look like they're in a world of trouble now. And you heard it with the boos at the end, which, can I just say, were music to my soul.
You heard them at half time.
Yeah.
We got 2 away wins that year. The other one was
At Wolves, yeah. It was
Wolves.
4-2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was just thinking it, yeah. Because Rasmus Christensen scored, didn't he? Which was weird. Weird things do happen at Wolves.
Should we get into the talking points? And I suppose the obvious jump off point with this is the 3 goal scorers, because it was all the new boys scoring their first goals for the club in the form of Okafor, Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Stack. Stack's free kick obviously takes the headlines, but both other goals were really, really good in their own way, weren't they? And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that cross, fantastic. A header, fantastic. We just don't see that. We just don't do that.
No. The free kick and Calvert-Lewin, I don't think we scored either of those goals last year.
No. Especially with the way that Leeds have recruited this summer and the centre forward that they've signed in Calvert-Lewin, just get the ball in the box. See the guy who was shouting at Lasogga that time? He wasn't wrong.
Yeah,
he was wrong in that moment, but as a general concept, he was right.
Yep.
Calvert-Lewin's a very lean man, though. It's worth saying.
Scoring from open play.
But yeah, it took us by surprise, didn't it, watching it? Because I think we got so used to watching us last year when we scored goals by, it was either sort of quick counter-attacks or it was sustained pressure and you were like, it's coming. And then eventually it cut back to Pirro or something. It slotted into a corner. Whereas it was almost nothing. It was just Bogle hitting it really across from deep. I think it did take a little nick as well on the way. But just putting it in the box, man heads it, scores.
Which, ironically, is exactly what Wolves tried to do in the second half to try and claw this back, was to go a bit more basic and start putting the ball into the box. And I thought we sustained that pressure really well. But it just does go to show that it is kind of an established Premier League tactic. Stick the ball in the box. Stuff can happen.
I feel like a team at any level can defend for the most part if you just knock the ball about the edge of the box, because they just go from side to side and side to side, and they're used to that. But there is an air of uncertainty if you just start getting crosses into the box. In the same way that, like, if you're driving it across the 6-yard box, it more often than not goes in because a defender will panic, or there'll be a striker there, or you don't know who's behind you. So
we did have that chance, actually, didn't we, with Goodmanson That was a very early one, wasn't it?
I mean, truthfully, we should have been one up, no?
Probably, yeah. It was him and Stack, wasn't it, linked up? They linked up a couple of times.
Yep.
Once with Stack putting the cross in, once with Goodmanson. But the Goodmanson one looked like there was probably a simple pass. Or he could have even probably had a shot from the angle he was at. But.
Yeah, he maybe just didn't think in that moment.
But I thought Goodmanson was great again. After, let's say, a not brilliant end to the Fulham game.
It was just weird, wasn't it? It was just a silly moment. It's almost beyond explanation. These things sometimes happen. It felt very Leedsy.
But you compare his start at left back to like Junior Firpo's left back start in the Premier League, and I feel fine with this.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he?
He's a smart, sensible left back who's played in the Champions League, and all right, Ligue 1 isn't exactly the best standard, maybe, but he has played at the top level. He's played international football, and he looks good defensively, good going forward. I really like that tackle where he very clearly realised that Chachua had the beating of him for pace, and he just kind of stopped, reassessed, and then beat him with intelligence.
Yeah, so we went from that early chance, and then we were cut open for their opener within a minute or two after that. Was it Krejci? Is that how you pronounce it? Who got the goal? Not tracked properly from midfield at all, which was a little bit concerning at the time. And you thought, oh God, is it going to be one of those days? But you know what followed was absolutely the opposite of that.
Yeah, because we've not seen that, have we? That even Arsenal, I don't think cut us open quite that easily. It felt like Longstaff was chasing him quite far behind. The centre backs were nowhere to be seen, and it just felt very, very easy. Did that goal?
It feels like something that would only happen in the first 10, 15 minutes, like a lapse of concentration like that.
I wrote down during that first half, dominating possession, but only creating half chances. It felt like we were not really committing bodies forward, but it felt like we were dominating possession and dominating the game. I think, in my mind, is that an accurate representation of that first half? Even when we were one behind, we kept trying to play in the way that we do.
Yeah, I think the momentum graph would agree with you as well.
That it was just mainly in our favour, but not high, not high pressure.
Yeah, no peaks.
Yeah, and we had Ampadu and Aronson both leaning back and putting the ball over the bar, which I found really frustrating as well. Like professional footballers, I know they're under pressure when they're playing like that, but come on, just at least work the keeper, get it under the bar.
Yeah, and in Ampadu's case, just don't shoot because he's not a goal scorer. He was brilliant today, by the way. I'm not slagging him off. I thought second half, in particular, he was, as he often is, was like the man there getting the sort of scrappy stuff done. He was almost playing as a centre back, wasn't he? Second half.
Yeah, at times he was dropping into the defence
for an awful lot of it. As we were under pressure, he just more or less kind of fell into a back three, or back five, depending which way you want to see it. But I thought it was excellent. And we do. You forget he was injured as well, don't you? Like a couple of weeks ago, so it just shows how much we need him.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. And it was about the half-hour mark that we drew level through that header, and it did come out of nowhere. The game, I don't know, a lot of these Premier League games just feel like it's attritional, but teams just sort of locking horns a little bit, and sometimes stuff doesn't really happen because the standard is so high and teams are so evenly matched, and then just suddenly out of nowhere, it's a good cross and a good header. And I suppose does it reinforce the idea that the Premier League is sort of built for difference makers, if you like? The fact that Calvert-Lewin wins that header, and if it's an inferior header of the ball, that just doesn't go in.
I mean, you could say that about any league, though, couldn't you? It's just the difference makers that maybe look a little bit different in the Championship, because you can have someone as laid back looking as Pirro doing it now and then, whereas I wouldn't have fancied him in that game today, I have to say. 'Cause I quite enjoyed, actually, the kind of running battle Calvert-Lewin had with their centre-back all game. He wasn't winning everything, wasn't Calvert-Lewin, but there was, he was winning his share of stuff, wasn't he? And they were quite, it was quite interesting just watching them sling each other about a bit like it was watching Metro against Newcastle as well, with Botman, wasn't it? He was up against. But yeah, I just quite enjoyed it. The physical rough and tumble of it was entertaining enough.
Yeah, very much so. This is all the attritional stuff that I've been advocating for in recent weeks, and I've kind of been hoping it would kick into action and work a little bit, because it does feel like in this early part of the season we're just trying to find out where we sit in the pecking order and what the table's going to look like. So we are up to 9th, by the way, familiar territory for us in the Premier League, Bielsa territory. And I suppose I'm not saying that today singularly vindicates like the recruitment approach or anything like that, but what it does do is it can give you a little bit more confidence that they've made some good decisions in terms of buying players who suit the more physical approach, because I really enjoyed that. I've really enjoyed seeing us play in a different way and absorb pressure and win headers and just scrapping for stuff, because my fear last year was always that while we were very talented and very creative, that Farkas football, it wasn't really battling football sometimes, and we were sometimes outfought.
Now and then, but I think that's not the game we were aiming to play last year, though, either.
Yeah, I also think this is still the 5th game of the season, so you can't immediately expect everything to work overnight.
No.
And it worked a lot better this week than it did last week, but then obviously the level of opponent has gone down slightly. But there were things like Okafor just deciding to try and beat his man on the outside, Stack making that run beyond the defence, which he hadn't made too many times previously, maybe something that we're lacking. It's just having another week of training together and having another game playing together, and working out who your teammates are and what
it takes time,
like.
Doesn't it?
It does
take time. As Lee's saying, Stack was dreadful against Newcastle and Fulham, but class today, I don't think it was dreadful against Newcastle. That was just a very attritional game, wasn't it? But he did get caught in possession a couple of times. But then again, up against some really, really high quality midfielders, particularly in the form of like Guimaraes. So
against Fulham as well, he wasn't helped by that early booking, because I felt like the defensive side of his game had to change quite a bit because of actually he had to kind of pull out of a few bits.
Yeah.
So that was, I'm willing to give him some slack. I think he's been fine as Stack across all games. I've no major concerns about him.
He's a high quality footballer. You can see
I think he's been quite good. I don't know, maybe it might have been a bit like Bogle last year where we couldn't really see it at the start. But although he was making some mistakes, you could still, if you probably look at it now in the cold light of day, you can see that he was at that point a much better player than probably we gave him credit for. And I feel like the same with Stack.
Yeah. I mean, the Premier League is really, really hard. It is genuinely the toughest league in the world. So it's going to take, he's only 5 games into it, as you said.
I thought he was excellent today.
I mean, the free kick.
I know, God, that the moment that kind of, I think you could point to say there's still more to come from this team is whenever Okafor kind of just turned with the ball and expected Stack to be there and then gave off at him. And I'm going, I don't know why you're expecting him to be there, because he's, and also you're probably just taking a bad touch. He didn't pass it to someone, but that's going to happen 5 games into the season whenever that player only arrived in the second week of the league season, and Stack's only been here for 6 months and 6 weeks, and it's still much more to come. So
well, let's talk about the free kick because that was out of this world. That's an absolutely brilliant free kick. Quick sideline to say, Michael, looking forward to hearing what the Always Wolves boys had to say that we played on propaganda earlier this week, who were dreading being clipped up for little grasses as well, for trying to...
They might just not bother.
Try to grass us up to YouTube for using their clip. Fair use, baby. Fair use. That's what we're here for. But yeah, that free kick. If you watch the replays of it as well, you can see the keeper gets his footwork wrong, because he did not expect him to go into that corner. He set his wall up in such a way as to invite him to go across to the other corner, and he sets his feet by, he kind of skips on his toes, ready to push off in the other direction, and then just wallops it, kicks it dead hard into the net, Michael.
The set piece coach?
Yep. Are you?
Yeah. Look how we took that set piece.
Are you saying, is your application going in?
It's not difficult, is it?
Right.
That's why I got them all, a bit like Jesse Marsh got them all to take long throws. I got them all in the line so you could kick it hardest. And I said, right, you're on free kicks.
Yep.
But it was just nice. Just again, another one, we didn't score a free kick last year, did we?
No.
For all the hundreds of goals we scored, just didn't bother with them.
Yeah. So to get the goal from open play, but also a header, really, really important. Scoring from a free kick, it all feels very un-Leeds last year, doesn't it?
I quite look forward to watching. Well, I'm going to watch Match of the Day for the first time this season. Yeah. But probably a slow-mo of the Calvert-Lewin goal, just to see the hang time on that header.
Yeah.
He looks like someone who gets up and he spends a little bit of time in the air.
Chapman-esque for those of us over a particular age.
He can sort of turn his body in the air as well and stuff. It's quite nice. He won a couple of knockdowns as well, did the Calvert-Lewin as well, where he just, balls that were up to him, which were not obviously within reach a goal, but was able to kind of play other people in and stuff. But yeah, I thought it was brilliant. Just
returning to the free kick, actually, you made a comment as they were lining it up, because we were complaining that it felt like the free kick should have been a yard or two further forward.
I wasn't complaining. I thought we'd maybe done it.
Wait, that's not where it was taken. It was closer to the D than that. And then we I think the light bulb went off for all of us. Like, what they're doing is they've maybe brought it back a yard or two to give themselves the chance to get it over the wall. As it was, he just went straight round the wall. Didn't need to.
Maybe that was part of the thinking.
Right.
The keeper will notice that I always move that back because he wants to go over the wall.
Yeah.
But he doesn't.
It's all about mind games.
goes to the side of it.
It probably was like part of the thinking. The keeper's probably looking at his feet and his body shape and where his eyes are looking.
Yeah.
Full.
Just twatted it straight in the goal. Boom! And then on to 3-1 just before half-time. So to score twice in that 5-6 minute window just before half-time, as good as kills it as a contest.
When Okafor scored, I was like, that guarantees some good booze at half-time, does that?
Yeah.
Because it's that feeling where you're probably if you're already behind, you've already sort of on the verge of losing it at this point when you've got no wins already.
Yeah.
Then one before half-time, you just think, they can have it. They can have it now. Can the team as they go off. And it did change the... Not that it made any difference, but it did force Wolves to make changes as well, didn't it? Whether or not they'd done it anyway, but they made 3 subs at half time.
Yeah, mid 3 at half time.
And they brought on Strand Larsson. It means they brought him on when he's probably not quite fit enough. And then I don't know who else came on. Some people called Gomez probably.
Yeah,
they're all called Gomez.
It's kind of like the Welsh rugby teams full of Jones and Williams. They have to have a certain amount of Gomez's.
Talking about players bedding in, Okafor now starting to just find his feet, and speaking to people at the club, they will tell you that he was signed for his directness, for his dribbling, but to expect to see him lose it quite a lot. And it kind of showed today, didn't it? He had the ball a lot. As Lucas is saying in the comments, Okafor 12 dribbles in the first half, the most in a Premier League game since 2019.
That is what shows in his stats, isn't it? When we were signing him, he was like 99th in the top 1%, wasn't he, of dribbles in Europe or something.
Which is probably why it didn't work for him in Italy as well as it would have, because Italy's such a tactical league that managers will kind of hate someone who's free form and loves dribbling. And maybe he didn't adjust to it as well. Like his best moments for AC Milan was either when a game was a bit messy and it required someone to come in and be direct. So now that we're starting to see the side of him that we would have seen at Salzburg and in the Champions League, maybe it suits him better being in England.
Because is Italy more technical? Because you've spent years writing about it and covering it. It's slightly more technical. Is it slightly slower? Whereas the Premier League, as we've seen, is a lot about pace and power.
Yeah, you hear all the English players who go to Italy talk about, like Fikayo Tomori when he went to Milan, he learned so much about defending and tactics and body shape. Whereas it's a bit more. It's not exactly just Jesse Marsh pure vibes in the Premier League. It's a lot more physical and it's quicker and it's more about technical ability than what's up here, I think.
Right. That's interesting, that. But it was a great little goal, wasn't it? Like, so the interception, first of all, them passing the ball around as they did.
You can barely say it was an interception. He just passed it straight to Stack.
It felt a bit Southampton last year, didn't it? Was the echo in my mind.
What was the game last year where we were watching it in here and I went, I'll just pass it to us. And they did and we scored. Yeah, someone just passed it straight to Pirro last year and we scored. I was like,
Watford away, I think it was.
They've done it. Nice.
Yeah.
They threatened to do it all game because they kept doing it. It kept not quite working, but then on that one occasion it just went spectacularly wrong. But yeah, it was nice little gift.
And then just the ball just rolled into him on the left. And again, it felt almost too easy.
That's another thing that gets the booze really going because it's a goal you're absolutely gifted.
Yeah.
So that's really like, it's a proper fuck off goal.
You've got such a little happy look in your eye.
The Wolves grass has annoyed me, so I'm glad we've got to beat them.
But for him to just run through and take that on his left and just put it across the keeper, it just felt a little bit too easy, didn't it?
Yeah.
Like we have to work. It feels like we have to earn those a little bit more than we did.
But Okafor still has work to do there as well. Like, not to criticise him, but had that same ball been out on the right hand side, you don't expect the same outcome, do you?
No.
Whereas Okafor is direct enough to think, right, get it out of my feet, have a shot from what was not an easy angle. It was very much a cross goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I think those moments suit him best. Someone who's quick and direct, rather than having 10 seconds to try and create a move and think and end up, he had a couple of crosses that weren't amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we can just start hitting teams in the counter like that or winning balls high up and just go roll it off to him and say, away you go.
Let's talk about our goalkeeper. I thought Darlow was excellent today.
Yeah. 100%. Brilliant.
Good saves, commanded his area well. We have seen he's capable of making an error, but which keeper isn't? So I suppose you can forgive him some moments of madness, but I thought today was absolutely rock solid.
I don't think he made any massively difficult saves, did he? But there were just a number of things he did well, and like some crosses he came for that he got a decent punch on, and
he made one quite good one in the 55th minute because I made a note of it. Where he tipped one over the bar.
Oh, that was it. Although I think was that the one that they'd given free kick for anyway?
Potentially.
I can't remember. There was one where he made a good save, but I think the ref ended up pulling it back for something. But it was a good save.
Yeah, there was a couple of moments where I think there was maybe 2 or 3 within a couple of minutes of each other. Or one of them, I think you're right, one of them might have been a foul.
But we were absorbing a lot, weren't we, in terms of crosses and things like that in the second half. But, just on that, did you ever feel like we were massively under the cosh, even though we conceded a lot of possession and conceded a lot of crosses? It never felt very panicky to me, I don't know.
It didn't, but that's maybe because it was 3-1.
Yeah.
I feel like at 2-1, that whole second half feels very, very different because you've always got the cushion of it, haven't you? Whereas, all the ball ricocheting around the box and like the one where Ampadu kind of kicks it onto their attacker and it ends up as a goal kick in the end. Like there's lots of moments like that are a bit more heart-stopping, but it's less like when it got to the 92nd minute or something and I was like, I think we've won this because I don't think there's time for them to score
twice.
To score twice. But that's really the point you're trying to get to, isn't it, in these? So
yeah, I mean, as far as Leeds games go, though, that's sort of the jeopody and the worrying feelings. I never felt that way today. It was really annoying going one behind, but then to equalise out of the blue, you forget that sometimes goals can just come out of nothing in the Premier League.
They never carved out another good chance, did they?
No. The second half, it was a little bit like when you watch a boxer trying to play rope-a-dope. Like it's fine if you're winning, but if they'd scored there, you would have panicked. I don't know if I would like to see Leeds to try and sit back and defend a 3-1 lead against Spurs.
No,
but against Wolves, who are quite rubbish. I think it was quite a smart move.
But it does feel a little bit like pick your battles in the Premier League.
Yeah, 100%.
Doesn't it? Yeah, and know which games you're going to go after.
Yeah. It was comfortable-ish.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
It has been asked. Did you have any little bets on today? Did you?
I think at half time I did a bit on the draw.
Right.
Yeah, did a $5 on the draw. I think about 40-1 or something ridiculous. I was like, let's just cover that.
40-1.
It was maybe not. Well, maybe that was the Wolves win actually. Maybe I think it was like 13 was the draw.
Even still.
Yeah. I know.
Farke's coat today. Discuss.
Yeah, he's lost his big winter coat.
Corporate sellout.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if his was not waterproof enough, maybe, or
Mr. Adidas now.
You wouldn't be surprised if he was told he has to wear branded gear.
Yeah. He's been his casual jacket.
Right.
So I'm going out afterwards. It's all right. You can bring that with you. Just don't wear it on the touchline.
Yeah.
So
even in the summer though, he was wearing the tracksuit and the t-shirt. I don't really remember him dressing in Adidas Red Bull gear previously.
Yeah, he was very casual last season, wasn't he?
Premier League, the eyes of the world on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like it's a sponsorship opportunity.
Got training gear to sell.
Yep.
And what better way to do it?
But I want to say, talking to Farke, let's use that as an opportunity to segue into Farke Watch. He's been under a lot of pressure, not hugely vocal, but that sort of general bubbling dissatisfaction that I suppose is the reality of life in the Premier League. You lose games, you lost to Fulham in a really bad way last week. I think he deserves credit for this. I really do. Like, we were, a cat's whisker away from coming away from Fulham with another point and being further up the table. Arsenal was obviously an abomination, but generally I feel like he's got more right than he's got wrong. We
should really have just lost one game, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Which would be a great start.
Arsenal was rubbish, but then he did adapt, which I think people didn't see coming. Like I didn't see him being more pragmatic purely because he went to Arsenal, who are possibly the second or third best team in the league, and tried to play the same way that they did last season, which is that's an insane thing to do.
Yeah.
But he realised that doesn't work, and they adapted for the Newcastle game. And again, he's adapted his style completely. Like, it's a 4-3-3 now. It's a little bit more pragmatic. We were a bit more direct today as well, which I quite enjoyed, and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, having that option,
he deserves credit.
Feels very, very important.
It's hard to know it's a place, Farke, because when people were criticising him for not creating anything, that this is just the way Farke plays. I was looking back at his first season in the Premier League with Norwich, and actually they started that season scoring loads of goals.
Yeah,
but then they started the second season. You
think of TV?
It's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. Second season not scoring any, but I don't know which one is Farke, because he's done both.
Well, maybe he has evolved. It's interesting. I'm looking at the momentum graph now, and it was all Wolves in that second half. But it felt like we were happy to absorb that and concede the chances and try and stifle it and hold on.
What XG did they finish on? Because first half I noticed we'd scored 3 off hardly any XG, hadn't we?
So FOTMOB,
they were all quite tough chances.
Yeah, FOTMOB has got it as 1.61 to them. And I think that the goal that they scored was very, very high.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Their goal was 0.68 according to Sofa Scores.
So that's roughly penalty. It's roughly penalty
More or
value,
less,
isn't it? Yeah, because it was about the penalty spot. We finished on 0.49, which suggests we were very efficient. Because Okafor's one probably not rated particularly highly.
0.15.
Yeah.
0.08 for the free kick and 0.12 for Calvert-Lewin's.
So, but then again, you examine Calvert-Lewin's and it feels better than that, which I suppose shows the flaw in XG. But let's give him credit then.
But there are many different ways to approach that header. Like some people don't even attempt to head that towards goal because they can't get the body up and twist it enough, or they'll head it but it'll just straight up in the air, or they'll head it and it'll go 6 yards wide or whatever. There's the way he managed to position himself and turn the ball in basically the opposite direction almost that it was going, because it was coming across him that way and he headed it while facing sort of towards the ball but turned it around the corner, didn't it? It was brilliant.
I'm actually just scrolling through all their various other chances, and despite them having a lot of chances, the XG on all of them very, very low indeed, apart from the goal.
Interesting thing is, if you look on SofaScore, they do XG, which is just, base, and then that XGOT, which is sort of after the shot's been taken.
Yeah.
So the XGOT on Calvert-Lewin's goal is 0.73.
Yeah. So he's turned it into
a goal scoring opportunity.
Which is what we've signed him for, arguably. Can I just go on record now and say I'm kind of quietly glad that we lost at Fulham?
No. Why?
Well, because if we hadn't conceded that goal and we'd have drawn, we would have got the fabled 8 points from 5 games.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So probably best that didn't happen. I think for my own sanity and well-being.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're mid-table as it stands. Obviously, there's the couple of evening games to come. Man United against Chelsea has kicked off already, but 6 minutes in, and Chelsea have had a red card.
Oh.
Who's been sent off? Sanchez in the first.
Goalkeeper. This might be good because this might be. They need a win to keep him in the job. Because how's he going to turn the club around if they sack him?
Right.
So hopefully, I don't know. It's hard to know, isn't it? But maybe them winning in that is a good thing.
But for the sake of propaganda, if they were to lose against 10-man Chelsea
with 85 minutes to do it,
think of the entertainment factor.
Either way, it's out of our hands.
Yeah.
But what I will say is, joking about the Fulham outcome aside, I think that's a pretty commendable start to the season. Is that 5 games in, 7 points? You're probably ahead of where you need to be. It's matched Everton anyway.
I feel like it's been a very good cross section of games we've seen as well. Like we've played people who expect to be up at the top in Europe, mid-table, down the bottom, and we've done all right against all of them.
Yeah,
apart from Arsenal.
It just feels like a series of challenges. Like we were able to be solid against Newcastle, but we couldn't create chances. And then we did the same against Fulham. We didn't really create chances, and then we got unlucky with the goal at the end. Now we've created chances against a poor team. Can they go and do it against Bournemouth next week, who are a much better side, while also remaining solid? Like it's just a massive balancing act, basically, for 38 games when you're a newly promoted team.
It feels the difficulty is as well. We've got the Bielsa comparison, and that felt weird. I always felt like under Bielsa, you could watch the first 10 minutes of a game and you'd be like, "Oh, I think we've got them here." Like the teams would struggle to adapt to the way we were playing, and you think, "Oh yeah," but I don't think that's the case with the way we play this year. I feel like you can be, well, as today, you can be a goal down and think, "Oh, well, we're still in it," and it'll probably and equally we can be at 3-1 if they'd got one back. You think, "Oh, we can still lose this as well." Like I don't know, it feels like it's going to be much more a goal either way, and probably the balance of play isn't going to be quite as strong one way or another this time around.
Yeah, Stat came out of that with man of the match, by the way.
I'd say so.
Would you agree with that broadly?
Goal and assists.
Yeah.
Played well generally. I don't know how. I thought all the defence did pretty well.
Numbers wise, everyone's defensively hovering around or about 7-ish. Only Bogle has been marked down for whatever reason. He's come out with a 6.3. Yeah, again, Ampadu 7.7, Longstaff 7.2, Stack's got 8.8, and then the front line again has fared well. Brendan not so well, 6.8, but then he does lose the ball. Calvert-Lewin 7.8, and then Okafor 7.9. But obviously they're both scores, so they're gonna go up. But that feels broadly fair, I think. Don't you? Would you agree?
Yeah, Bogle he didn't have his best game, did he? And he did look quite badly injured, didn't he, towards the end?
Yeah, holding his foot like that had me a bit worried, just because he landed on it, which isn't a great look.
But we do have an experienced reserve, don't we? At least, which
Yeah,
is
I think he might not be as flashy as Bogle going forward, but he's a solid, dependable right back. So fair enough.
Yeah, just returning to the sort of Farke team selection stuff. Actually, going into that game without the options of Dan James and Nonto could have potentially, I don't know, limited our firepower, should we say? And obviously, by scoring 3 goals away from home against an admittedly very poor side, the bottom side, it's to their credit.
Well, it always felt like Okafor and Calvert-Lewin were bought to start games. So actually, we're only really one of the front 3 out, aren't we? Is the way I would probably see it. And I don't actually know who our first choice right winger is, because Dan James hasn't started brilliantly. Aronson, I don't think he really plays there. But I don't know where he does play. But then Nonto played a lot in pre-season, but then didn't start the season. So
I think it'll be James. I mean, James's pace alone is too much to not start him.
He does the work, and he can beat a man, can't he?
I do have my doubts about him technically against like a top team, but then I don't know why I'm even worried about that, because it's the same for pretty much everyone in the team. And for the majority of teams in the league will not really fancy their winger playing against, the best left and right backs at the top of the Premier League. So yeah, I think he has to start if he comes back and he gets fit.
Subs wise, all felt like it made sense today. Like Okafor got 70 minutes, and it was Harrison who came on for him as well. And again, you see that in a game like today, and you go, yeah, it makes sense.
And also, at that point, we didn't have the ball anyway, did we? Yeah. So,
but I suppose he offers you, because everyone's got annoyed at Ramazani going out on loan, but actually Harrison offers you structure, and perhaps sensible play when you need sensible play, as unglamorous and unsexy as that might be.
I think he's quite sexy.
Harrison,
yeah, personally,
right?
Not as a footballer, he's good.
So 70 minutes, that change gets made, and then it's 83 when Justin James comes on for Bogle, which was obviously to an extent forced. Tanaka came on at the same point there as well for Longstaff, who's kind of
man of the match for him. Would you say
Tanaka?
Yeah,
he was close. Yeah,
he just seemed to run around.
Yeah,
had a good time.
Yeah,
good to see him back though.
Yeah, and then a couple in the last minute just to see the game out, which was Gruev and Mecha. Come on. But again, Mecha made sense, and even if you'd have brought him on 10 minutes early,
I thought he might have brought him on a bit sooner,
just to try and make the ball stick.
I was thinking like 70 minutes just to nurture Calvert-Lewin a little bit more, but fair enough. Yeah, give him 90 minutes.
I don't know where our midfield sits now once everyone's fit. I don't know if Tanaka necessarily starts every game, or whether we actually go with the 3 today as the away midfield.
I think Tanaka starts if you're expecting to win the game. I think Longstaff, he relishes the combat, and he played better in the second half today because he got the chance to get stuck in. But if you're trying to win a game, I'm not super convinced that having hit 3 very similar midfielders, I think Tanaka offers just that little bit more. And you saw that against Everton too.
Yeah, he was brilliant that game. I am forgetting that.
Yeah. So
good day though, wasn't it?
Yeah, all in all, yeah. Well,
I feel like we've maybe been a bit sensible about it. And if you're in the away end there, you'll obviously be having a great day.
But you were saying actually the away end there's not great sometimes for generating an atmosphere.
It's like sort of along the length of it, aren't you? And it's not got much depth to it, that stand.
And surprisingly far from the pitch, as you were saying.
Yeah, you're like lower tier, aren't you, and stuff. But it's a good ground to go to, in fairness, because we tend to do pretty well there. We've won there for the last three occasions. Is that right? I mean, the first few, and maybe today we'll have to see what the Wolves fans say, but down to the referee, and obviously. But in terms of how we feel about it, then, and I suppose this brings us onto your optimism scale, Michael, that we deployed last year. But generally, I feel like we can take that and be really pleased with it. I think it was an excellent performance and a really good and an important win at that one. But also in the wider context of the season, long season, lot of football to be played. There's a lot of games still to go, and it would be ridiculous now to say on the basis that we won today that we're definitely going to stay up, or to say, oh well, we're shit, we're going to go down on the basis of losing to Fulham. So it doesn't got to keep your head on. As the way the game's played out, it's not. Today hasn't been all that different to Fulham, to Everton, to Newcastle. I don't think there's massive variation in our performances. Yeah, which is encouraging, isn't it? I suppose. Farke said on Thursday, part of it is just you need a bit of luck, and we got a little bit of luck today. You could say maybe the deflection for the cross is a tiny bit of luck, but it's deserved, I suppose. Should we dive into the comments actually? Because his comments have been fed out of the presser now.
I'm just quoting Beren's quotes here, saying that we were dominant in the first half, clinical edge, excellent goals. Key was confidence in our start. We wanted to dominate this game. Sadly, mistake was punished in not tracking the run. Crucially, we didn't dwell on it. We kept believing in the process. Would have liked more possession and control in the second half. They were throwing everything at it. We were always reacting in the second half, but I like that we showed defensive steel. Good in our own box. Hard fought and tight, but deserved. Hard fought and tight. Say it in the voice.
Hard fought and tight.
Yeah. There we go. So, again, broadly in agreement with all the stuff, I think we feel about that.
Scum are a goal up.
Are they really?
They are indeed. So there you go.
Are you cheering your brave United boys?
Bruno Fernandes too. I can't be happy for him under any circumstances. I mean, we should also take a moment to look at, while we're at points a bit bogged down in Premier League, aren't we a bit mediocre? Isn't this all a bit difficult? Look at the Championship, for God's sake.
Sheffield United losing again.
Look at it all. Look how Ipswich are doing in Southampton. Oh, it's a terrible, terrible place to be.
Yeah, I feel like some Wolves fans are probably at the point of wanting relegation because they think the Championship will be better because you win every week. But we were there for 2 years and we won every week, and it wasn't really until the end that we really enjoyed it.
I was going to say, you only enjoy it because you think you're getting out of it.
Yeah.
So, what can you do? I think, does that just about wrap up this part of the show?
Any dickhead ref watch? Did we do that?
It was Anthony Taylor.
It's fine, I thought.
Mank Leeds hating bastard, I was going to say, as they all tend to be. I've got no feelings on it. There was no VAR. There was nothing. No, there wasn't. It didn't ruin anything.
The Wolves fans seemed annoyed with him at a point, mainly because he didn't give a handball against Jack Harrison.
When it hit his chest.
Yeah.
Famously part of the arm.
It was Harrison was
and then
clearly above the shirt.
And then
line.
I think straight after that, Bogle was down injured and he stopped the game.
Yeah.
They were livid about it, but they were just cross.
They can enjoy that in the Championship next season.
What, no VAR?
Yeah.
Don't be now. You just behave yourself, Christopher.
I mean, we
could be there with them. I didn't say anything.
The thing is, they must feel like they're going down now
already.
They must. You can't have this start, including losing at home to a newly promoted team, and not think this.
Yeah, it feels like a terminal tailspin if you're a fan of them, doesn't it? Because I know if that was us, I'd be like, well, we're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Just like West Ham fans will be saying that too.
Yeah, I mean, I know this isn't like the be all and end all, but if you look at a team for the first time this season properly and go, I only recognise about 3 of those players. That's not a great sign for a Premier League team.
And half of them I might not recognise. It might just be other Portuguese players. It might just be people with Portuguese names who I go, yeah, I think he's been there a few years.
Yeah, somebody throws a random Portuguese name at you, says, who do they play for? Wolves, obviously.
Wolves? Has it been there like 10 years? No, I signed him in summer.
Right. 35 million quid. All right. We'll wrap up the match ball there, the regular match ball. Members, thank you for joining us on the live stream. If you check out the audio version in the members feed, which you can add to your phone by going to the My Account section, the audio version will have some extra time there, some bonus chat. We'll just debrief that, wind down, rate your performance, Michael, I think.
Okay.
There's
no need to, but...
If you want to become a member, we do appreciate the support. The squareball.net/plus. One of the big perks there is that you can listen to all the podcasts completely ad-free as well. So we'll be hearing from the Wolves fans in propaganda, obviously, next week.
They might have put it all private so I can't steal it. But I will find a way.
Yeah, and over on the members feed as well. Now, brand new weekly show with Phil Hay. The Phil Hay years, where we're just chatting about Phil's time covering Leeds, which was interesting, I think is the word to apply to it. But yeah, we're doing sort of little journeys around that and diving into topics that you want us to. So look out for that second weekly show over on the members feed. But I think that's it, isn't it, for this one? An enjoyable day all round in the Premier League, and roll on the next one, I suppose. We'll see.
The Match Ball.